G'day, today we're going to have a look at the currently last level in Mini Motorways, Mexico City, and see if we can get to 2000. I say currently because if this is anything like Mini Metro, there'll be another sort of 5 or 6 that get released over the next 5 years. They seem to always just be like sending out a new one. Okay, so this is my second attempt on this one. My first attempt went badly. Now I don't know if it was to do with luck of placement, but I fell apart hard. my mapping on that one. I was rolling into it with a lot of confidence, and I crashed out at 700. Which how confident I was feeling after I think doing 2 levels straight in a row without a flaw. It definitely brought me back down to earth, and to remind me that that sometimes the layout can be enough to sink you. Now, talking about layout, or at least what I found was a problem when I did play it, houses just seemed to spring up in any gap that was available. So anytime that there was like a single square left unattended, there was a house. Now that is sort of making me think that the way to sort of approach this build is to really eliminate those gaps, and that's why you can see that I'm sort of everything's hugged right against themselves to try and get rid of that. We'll take the tunnel. We do start with a roundabout in this one, and I feel like that suggests that this expects you to be so sort of jammed in. I'm just going to put a thing there because I don't want a warehouse to end up here. I kind of don't want one to end up there. That's how little trust I've currently got in this level. But I don't think that those would come to pass. Okay, so let's pause this for a second. Let's think. If I go... Can I get these guys to get to these? And have these guys on the outside of it. I mean, I could send him... Oh yeah, no, we can do it without having to change much either. So we'll go back to the way that this guy is connected. Now, one thing I have noticed in this level, it hasn't come up just yet, but oh, I can't even go down at the moment. Alright, well, until we can go down one, we'll just connect that like that. One thing I've noticed in my first playthrough of this one is that when you get tiles, if you opt for just the tiles as your option in at the end of the week, it's 40 tiles as opposed to 30. Now nothing else is affected, so it does suggest that there's like that you need more, but I don't know why that would be the only thing that you're actually getting that for. Like as in that's the only one that's getting more tiles with it, that everything else isn't getting like plus 25 or plus 15. There's a pain that just slipped through here. I'm gonna have to use a tunnel. But now I've got 2 tunnels, so that's alright. All I need is for the map to expand down one, sorry, and we can act on this. It's certainly taking its time to do so. Alright, these guys can use that gap that's currently there, and might just take a really wide angle out to do that for now. Sort of means that this space here is actually available for anyone, unless it's a new color. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's pause for a second, because this has given us limited options on how to get from him to his houses. And this guy, we will connect right against that too. Still not coming any further south, so we'll just connect this guy to there for now. Because you can see everything's a bit in demand, because we were badly leaving sort of like everything a bit unattended. Okay. Now these guys won't do anything with just yet. I'll just join them together. Okay, we'll just pause for a second. So what we can do is just use a tunnel. We can disconnect those guys. We can disconnect those guys. Generally, I would like to have 4 to 6 houses running any factory, especially a circular one. Obviously, we've only got 3 here at the moment, but we could also build, say, him up that way, and these guys could do that too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that road there for now, even though I don't have much in the way of road, just so any houses can't build themselves in that space and block it out. Alright, well, we've just got our candidate for the motorway. Let's move that up one. Let's just build there just to sort of block them out too, so no white, yellow houses can get. No, it doesn't matter. Maybe we'll do that just so they can't go in that one space. Currently everyone's looking alright. What I was talking about with 3 to 6, sorry, 4 to 6 is more when you get to late game. We'll take the 40 tiles because it was getting a little lean there. But because these are 3 houses running this, what I'm going to do is just knock this down to as tight as possible. And what I'll do here is because, oh no, I can, again I've got a tunnel, so I can go straight through this rock and connect them. Now we've only got 3 houses here as well, so let's just make him hug this wall and get in there. Now, the problem with him hugging the wall means that I'm possibly limiting purple, so let me just change that. Get him to hug green a bit more, and then come out that way so that if purple do want to add any more houses to this section, they can go in there. And we can get rid of that. Just block off that little bit there, or we'll block it off in the least appealing spot for anything for us. Just so we can't have a factory just sort of squish in here. Because we do want more houses in here, because we've only got these 4 taking care of these 2 guys. They're doing an alright job at the moment. But we'll just wait to see how they go. And what we'll do is we'll just bring that across for these guys. Join him there. And what we'll do is, since we've got a roundabout, I at the moment feel that this may actually no, let's move that across to where they had it. I think that possibly this might last, this connection. I can't see being more than 1 house here, so it's probably just predominantly a purple road. Take the tunnel because we are getting some good use out of our tunnels at the moment. We could use a tunnel to connect these guys to that as well. Like I said, we can just flip them around if need be. Oh cool, we did get a 4th house up here too. We'll flick him up that way. Alright, let's see if we can work these guys out at all. Now they could go through this roundabout. We may as well just get them to do that for now. We don't have any motorways. It's a quick fix, and everyone's just currently a square that's involved in this. Plus, I've got all these guys connected, and they're not connected to anything. Motorway to connect them anyway. Okay. So this second guy here has me almost able to remove this this tunnel. Well, I guess making that guy upgraded now reduces that chance. But also having that become this makes me a bit more concerned about having 3 guys running through a roundabout. I'm trying to think again. Okay, let's try this. If I go like that, and then this guy, I just sort of cut even sharper there. We can then... No, we can't sneak through, can we? And I mean, is that better or worse? For now, I'm going to argue it's better, because it takes one of these 3 colors out of the out of that roundabout. That does mean that red and purple are going to have to meet here. And this guy does make... Well, that's a real handy little get down there. This guy does make this traversing a little bit easier too. And we'll pause so we can't have anything go horribly wrong with this layout. Well, I'd say if we get one more house up here, I'm going to pull these guys off that connection. Cool. Alright, so let's just get these guys off for now. Just think about what we can do here. Now, a highway is now my appeal for this connection, because what I could do is they're going through that. I don't really want that, do I? Alright, well, what I can do actually is I can get rid of this. I can send him up that way. And then he can connect that way. These red guys are just popping up everywhere. This is what I sort of mean. They just pick some really odd, inconvenient spots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take advantage of the amount of squares that I've got at the moment and just try and block where I don't want anything. Alright, we've got this to address. Okay. How far south do we go? Alright, if we connect 1, 2, 3 guys here, we can then make them go and just make the most absurdly long connection. And then we suddenly pause. We say, wait, no, forget that. And the problem is that I've already sent them, so I can't call them back. So we'll connect these 3 guys here, and put a motorway there, and send it up. Actually, I changed my vote. Let's momentarily put it there, because these guys... Is anyone using that already? Why can't I use it? Oh, they decided that they're going to come back that way. This might be too little too late here. What if we do that, just to try and get this guy... These guys have any interest? Not quite sure why these guys aren't going to help. This guy's not going either. Maybe they've decided it's covered. Alright. Okay. Yeah, you can see this one becomes a real mess of a thing to try and follow what's going on. Alright, so what else we can do is we can get rid of that. And we can get rid of that. Okay, so these guys came along that motorway, taking advantage of yellow, and came up that way to go and make that connection. That's where the rest of these guys came from. Yeah, we'll connect him for now. Great, we'll take the motorway, we'll pause. Okay, now this motorway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this guy to here, pull this guy facing that way, and leave those two guys as is. I'm then going to rip up that, and because these two are definitely starting to suffer under only having 4 houses, so we'll take our big collection of guys here that are closer, we'll put that there. Then what we'll do is we'll delete this. Whoops, probably didn't want to delete that motorway that we just built. Put him back. And then what we can do is we can just, what did I build? Okay. Then what we can do is ask this guy just to move slightly so we can see. Connect him, get rid of that connection, connect them, get him to connect there, and then there, and get this guy to connect to that, and we'll get this guy to come around and connect there. Now what that means as well is that we can get rid of this, because that guy's not been coming through here for a while, and this is now just belongs to purple. Those guys are going that way, and these guys here we can send down, and then we can send them up, and well, we're gonna have to shift this guy the other way. So sorry. We can go down, and then this guy go done. I'm pretty sure that that guy's still connected. That's a handy cat. Now there's these 3 guys aren't doing anything else, so for the time being it looks like these 4 are okay with this. So the big part of this one is really what we're trying to do is just work out how many houses minimum can we cope with everything having connected to it, and then seeing if we can survive, because there's so many weird little outcrops of communities everywhere. We've got this guy here that we've overlooked. I say we, but don't worry fellas, I'll just take credit for that one. It's not on you. Alright, so what we'll do is we will connect him back here. In one of the ways that I try and recommend, well, I recommend that you try and build, is that this doesn't need to be connected anymore either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now all these guys aren't being used, so sorry, my counting was off there. It should be, that's now 5 that way, and then that's now 5 that way. Now this is a problem down here because we've only got, oh, that's a pain. It'd be great to have connected. Maybe we can sneak him in. Yeah, we can. We've only got 3 guys looking after this. So is there anything we can do about that? If we had a tunnel, we could connect some of these guys down this way. We don't want to use any of these guys because they're already manning 2. Let's see if we get a tunnel. Alright. Motorway might help. Just trying to think of... Now this guy here is only being manned by three houses. So maybe what we'll do is we will rip up this. We can give these 3 guys to that line as a slightly closer option for this. And then what we will do is we will... means that we can give these guys to... this line. And if we connect all these guys up here... we can then give them a motorway to look after him, which means that he's now got more houses to care for him. Alright, well, we can connect him up this way, and what we can do is we can just slide a line there and a line there for now. There are a few guys that aren't currently being used by this line, so we'll just allow these guys to employ as a backup option. It's not great, in fact it's awful as an option. And we actually need a tunnel to address it, not a motorway. Although I think it looks like only one guy's sort of come through to do that job. There's still a lot of room here too. So much room that I'm concerned they'll put a warehouse in there. But definitely this guy is my major concern, especially with the amount of congestion I've just given to this corner and basically that corner as well. Now if I can get a well, now I've got a debate on my hands because I also need this guy to get a motorway. Alright, that's handy positioning. I've got 24, so I might chuck him around the back. And I'll get... just send him south as well, so these guys can just have a much more direct out of the way of anyone heading this way. So my 2 concerns are purple here and this guy. Now this guy is connected to so many more, whereas these 2 are still only connected to that few houses. So we'll give purple the option, and what we'll do is we will rip that up. Now there's nothing that we can do to get these guys to get to that would allow these 2 houses, or 3 houses to connect over here without having to get in the way of either him or this sort of connection of 5 houses. So what we'll do is we'll build our freeway. But what we might do is we'll disconnect that from there. I think we'll just give these 2 guys the option. Because that's still just a square one, I don't think that these guys are going to have to come out too often. And I mean, these guys are really just there in an emergency capacity. Now that sucks. That sucks. How can we get someone over here? Well, this guy we can connect to here. That'll relieve that a little bit. There's definitely a whole lot of guys over here that currently aren't needed. But these guys would have to cut through so many different neighborhoods in order to get over here. Alright, is there any easier fixes that we can do? Okay, now there's 5 houses connected here, so I don't think that that's needed. We've got 37, so what we can do is we can go connect those guys there. And then what we'll do is move this from there to here. That into there. As long as that can survive until all these purple guys stop using that freeway. Cool, that was pretty quick. Much quicker than I expected. Now let me just make sure I've got all warehouses connected, because I feel like I'm even just losing control of that in this one. These yellow guys are breeding like rabbits for a place that only has two factories. I don't think there's any need to connect these guys to here. We will anyway though, just in case. A lot of just purple garbage at the top here. These guys are almost using all their cars, so I'll just add these guys as here as our last sort of line of defense up there. Now, I'm going to change. I'm going to rebuild this little bit of a neighborhood here. I'm going to put these guys to there, because I want them to be the preference for going to this guy. Now, this is going to be my current focus. Cool. Alright. So, I have a population of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses here. And we can get them all to focus on the same point up there. 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we, since that just became a circle, if we get rid of that motorway, we put this one in its place, and then it means that these guys take care of that, and all of these guys can just focus on this one. Now the other thing that we can currently do is get these guys to come through here and connect to that. Which again will just be a backup sort of plan for if this sinks. But again, the worst offender at the moment is this purple guy. Do I still have a network? No, I'm just waiting for 3 to disappear. Cool, 3's gone. Okay, so what we'll do is we will just put this here, give that back to purple. So the purple can immediately start moving a lot faster because they are our problem. Now this guy's gone up as well, but that's okay because he was just in the middle of a transition. Nothing to stress about there. And that's 2000. There we have it. That is how you play all the current levels. Now obviously I'm going to keep playing with this one, but I would mention as well, so obviously that does currently end my Mini Motorways series of playing the different levels. I hope you've enjoyed them even half as much as I've enjoyed playing it. It definitely was a fun little game to try and solve the puzzle. So I do enjoy sort of playing games and putting up videos as well, and it's been really nice the response I've gotten lately. I really do appreciate it. So if there are any games that you think that I'd enjoy to play, feel free to recommend them. If it's whether it's something that you think is worth uploading or not, or just a game in the same style as the games you see me play that you think that you've enjoyed, that you think I might like. Or something that you think that you've struggled with that you would like to see videos on, and you think that I sort of operate in a way that would be good to sort of have a crack at it, try and explain it. Feel free to mention those as well, because I am always looking for something new to do. But yeah, thank you for watching. So I guess we'll just finish this and see how we go. Okay, so we're ending up with a lot of weird, wonderful houses down here. We're very colourful here in Mexico City. Now what we can do is just pause this for a second, and we'll get this guy to shift slightly that way, which means that we can actually get rid of that purple line now too. We accidentally knocked that out, and then we can bring these guys around the side. Because he is still our problem. Now part of this is probably that I've done a poor design here, I'd say, of how these guys get onto the highway. They are sort of crashing into each other. But I can't really change it, because once you sort of move when you move a line, because it deletes the highway, my only option would really be to have another highway, sort of motorway in hand to try and address it. Now we do have an extra motorway, so why is that guy struggling? He doesn't have enough houses. This guy's also struggling too. Now the problem is that there's no real center of red houses elsewhere that we can try and pull guys from. Only really sets of 2 everywhere. What we could do actually is pull these guys up and around here, and we can put a highway there that connects to there, so these guys can help out. Now hopefully it doesn't cause too much congestion on that line. Do I have a tunnel? I do have 2 tunnels. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of that guy, and we'll connect to these guys and send them around to here. But we definitely do seem to be falling apart at this stage. Now part of the reason that red is having the problem, and yellow, is that because there's only 2 of those factories. So I generally find that the more of the factory you have, the actual slower they'll take to collapse. It's almost like it's that they're sharing the workload. And so you can see that pink is fine because there's 3 pinks, and white is fine because there's 5 of them. I mean, white's not fine now, they're crashing away because of this awful congestion. Was I still waiting for a tunnel for that? Whoops. I finally got my tunnel and I've not used it. But I think it's probably too late to address it. Hopefully I can fix this this congestion for them. There we go. Not too bad. Alright, cool. Any questions or comments or recommendations? Feel free to chuck them below. I'm sure I'll see you again, because I have no doubt in my mind that there'll be more Mini Motorways levels. But until then, see you next time. Bye.